Welcome to HR with Heart. I'm your host, Jemima House, and today we're exploring silent burnout, specifically in high-performing teams. I want to talk about 3 things that HR cannot afford to miss, and that they sometimes do miss. So, some of the most capable teams in your organisation are the ones who are closest to burnout, and you would never know because they're also the ones who are least likely to show it. Their performance is pristine, their emails go out on time, they smile appropriately, but beneath their efficiency, there is a human being who is doing their absolute best, but they're struggling. You've probably all heard of masking, used in terms of neurodivergence, sometimes autism. It's a way that human beings develop a coping mechanism to get their needs met. And this is quite similar. So your system at the workplace will be built a certain way, and the humans who have to coexist within it will have to evolve and adjust in order to fit the system. And what often happens is that they adjust quietly, and you won't know that anything is wrong until they hand in their letter of resignation. Now, this is a really expensive way to go, and also it's very sad for the humans involved, because if you feel that you can't speak with your superiors about what's wrong, of course you're going to leave. So what are these 3 signs that sometimes come up that you might ponder on, and you might feel, something is off here, but because the performance is still, the output is the same, it might be difficult to articulate, and it might even be difficult to believe yourself. So the first thing is like a flat line, an emotional flat line. So even if something really good happens, the joy is subdued. If something very challenging happens or really difficult, then it's just kind of taken in their stride. It's what I call emotionally neutral. And I think it's a really dangerous place to exist, because humans aren't meant to be emotionally neutral. We're meant to experience the full bandwidth of from low to high highs. And as soon as that starts to be squeezed into a very thin chunk of experience, humans are no longer fulfilled, and they will start looking elsewhere for fulfillment. And for the sake of this podcast and for the audience I'm speaking to, they'll start looking at a different workplace, thinking, well, maybe another place can more accurately meet my needs. Maybe this place just isn't aligned with me anymore, because I don't feel happy. So that's number 1. Number 2 is hyper control. So this can be over planning, over checking, maybe being a little bit explosive when they are called upon to be flexible, because people change their minds, etc. But the hyper control is a real symptom of a nervous system under pressure. The third one is disconnection. So if you ever hear people say, oh, I'm just trying to get through the day, or I just need to make it to the end of the week, oh, we just need to get to the end of this quarter. That is someone who is disconnected from their reality. And again, it's a dangerous place to be, because where is the experience of the day-to-day lacking richness? Well, maybe every day feels the same. Or maybe they are using so much energy to hold back from the things that they want to say that they don't have any energy left for input to the place of work, for instance. So those are 3 things that could be happening, and you might again just feel like something's not quite right with that person. Can't put my finger on it. And the reason that these things crop up is because these leadership systems within these places of work are wired for competence, but not for any kind of vulnerability. There is no space for these people to be humans. There is only space for them to be good employees. Now, of course, the workplace needs good employees. However, a good employee usually consists of a happy human. And if your human is not happy, their eventual output and performance is going to be limited. Now, without sounding like a person who is a mercenary, business is business, and there is room for both. So we need well-being, we need to look after our people, and we also need to take care of performance. I believe that you can do both things. What I see is that a lot of the leadership systems currently in place only cater for performance. Well-being is an afterthought. So what would I do? What would I do? What does the HR department normally get called on to do? What's the normal response when you start to notice these signs of disengagement, unhappiness? Well, normal things that get done are engagement surveys are run. Maybe the line managers are called on to do extra check-ins. Maybe the wellbeing workshop is brought forward from when it was previously scheduled. And these things are temporary fixes. These things are good band-aids. However, they are surface level, because what's really happening is there is a mismatch between the leadership expectations and the nervous system capabilities of the employees. So what is happening here with those responses is that this overfunctioning or burnout is being seen as a personal issue when it isn't. It's systemic. It's what's being asked of the employees. It's what's expected of them. It's how they are expected to fit into the system. So what I do is different, and I've created a whole model of I called it the ecosystem of ease, because that's my flowery language, but it is based upon what humans need, because I know humans, and I know that when humans are happy, business goes well. I've run enough businesses in my past to know that that is a fact. So what I would do is I would start to build trust loops between the employees and their superiors. I would make sure there was a foundation of safety, psychological, emotional safety within the workplace. Rehumanize so that the leadership model is coherent. It's not just top down, we are telling you, you have to do this. It's coherent, and it says, we know that you're a human. We know how challenging that can be, and we are going to take every measure we can to support you. So that's what I do. And if you recognise some of what I've spoken about today, so especially the kind of flat line, the hyper control, the disconnection that appears with staff members, and if you know that that's not a personal failing, that actually it's the system showing you where it lacks coherence, but you're not quite sure how on earth you start to tackle such a beast of a problem, then I want to hear from you. Because the opportunity now for HR and leadership is to rebuild the structures within the organisations that support the humans that they hold. That's the work that I'm doing. And it is a big job. And that's why it's my whole business. So I want to start this conversation with the people, the companies that are ready to lead differently. If that's your focus as 2026 comes into view, then I would love to hear from you. I'd love to keep this conversation going. Until next week, it's goodbye from HR with Heart.